Hello, sweet souls. How are you? How is your heart? How is your body? How are your feelings? How is your soul? I'm so glad that you're here today. I I'm just always so happy to come to this altar that is between us and share what I hear, what I sense, what I feel. And this week there are a couple of messages that are dropping in that I want to share with you. It really is very vibrant and present in the soul field. And so I want to share them as stories for the resonance of the moment whenever you find this video. So I want to honor the Mayan sacred calendar. I'm a student of the calendar. I study it, I live it, I work with the energies of the calendar on a daily basis. And we are sort of in between um, 12 Ak and 13 Ish in the Mayan sacred calendar in the Trecena of Ik. And this Trecena that we're in, which is kind of like a 13-day month in the Mayan sacred calendar, is really about the wind, the change that's in the air, the breath, divine inspiration. And there's been so much that has dropped in for me, and I hope there's been a lot that's dropped in for you. There are two main messages I'm hearing today, and the first one is fill your cup. And I'm going to tell you all about that in just a second. First, hi, hello, I'm Maggie. For those of you who are just finding this video now, I am a storyteller and a ritualist, and I teach people how to hear the soul. The soul is the calm and all knowing wisdom that surfaces from within when we get quiet and listen. I also think of it as the language of love that really, really, really wants to come to the surface and hold us and lead our lives. I do this in various ways. You can go over to maggiebatista.com to see all my offerings that are on the altar, including the next round of In Light, a group journey, a sacred elemental journey, where we deepen self love, we embody our soul's wisdom, and we ignite our innate magnetism. And we do this together. And I also have wearemagic.studio, which is where all of these messages and videos are housed, both the video and the audio and the transcript. Because I like you to have all different ways to interact with me. So, back to our messages, back to what I'm hearing. I think fill your cup is a message that it has been coming through for a number of weeks, and it really just kind of like hit a tipping point over the last week, saying, remember, we keep saying, fill your cup. That means, for me, I'm going to tell you what it means for me. Fill your cup means sit at the altar of love within you and honor that altar. Go into stillness, go into solitude, go into spaciousness, and talk to your soul. Allow your soul to hold you and soothe you as you make choices that honor you, right? Not others, but you. And it's particularly important to fill your cup right now because there are so many people who are totally unregulated, totally in their feels. And that is beautiful. And some people, when they're in that space, they take their worries, their concerns, their pain, and they place it on you. And I try to approach everything from a place of neutrality, but it doesn't always feel good to have someone's pain placed on you, right? And also, it doesn't feel good for you to always place your pain on other people. The soul surfaces to hold you and soothe you first and foremost. to do that as you make choices and as you live this life and you experience the pain and the pleasure of this life. And so, if you're stressed out, your cup is not filled. If you're emotional, your cup is not filled. If you're angry, your cup is not filled. Okay? I want to be clear. If we're experiencing the full sort of spectrum of emotions and staying there, not moving to the next step of metabolizing them, then the cup's not filled, right? We must find ways to fill our cups, especially during these wild times. And that can look like so many things. For me, it looks like stillness. For me, it looks like solitude. For me, it looks like calming down. For me, it looks like sitting with cacao, with ceremonial cacao, sitting at the altar, both to myself and to all the energies with whom I collaborate. To me, that's sitting in meditation, sitting in the soul field, and just sitting there and allowing with no purpose, right? Just allowing that stillness, allowing that sweetness, right? When your cup is full, here's the joy of having a filled cup. When it's full, anything that anyone could say about you will not impact you. Anything that anyone could put upon you, their pain, their anxiety, will not impact you. It won't, right? And I notice this. I have a very, very small set of friends, and we usually sort of hold ourselves through our own things. And we might bring one or two odd, unusual pains to the altar between us, right? But in general, I hold myself, they hold themselves. There is time when we co regulate in community, and there is time to regulate on our own, right? And we can step into service when we regulate more readily on our own. And that's what the soul helps you do. Talking to your soul helps you do it. Literally talking aloud and asking questions of the soul. We do this, we fill our cup to remain steady, to remain solid with our feet planted into the earth, with our spine sturdy, pointing toward the sky, right? And it's from that place that not only are we able to make choices and decisions about our life, move in this world, but like from this steady place where we can hold the vision of love within us, that's when everything arrives. Like that's when everything arrives. Everything you desire arrives when you are in this state. It just arrives, it just unfolds like magic, like silly magic. You're like, what? Things I wished for are here. All because I tended to myself and filled my cup. So that is the first message on the altar between us. We need you to fill your cup this week, sweet soul. We just need you to do that in whatever way feels good to you. And I'll give you some examples. Maybe filling your cup looks like what I do to fill my cup, and I've mentioned a bunch of things. Maybe it's sitting with a cup of tea, like sitting on a soft chair with a cup of tea for 15 minutes. Maybe it's going outside and moving your body aggressively to release energy from the body, such that you can come home, take a shower, sit down, and be like, whew, all right, I'm regulated now. But you get to choose. Maybe it's watching 8 hours of the Gilmore Girls. Maybe it is. Like, who am I to judge, right? You know what will fill your cup. I'm just telling you to find ways and time to do that because it's required during this time, during this wild time. So that's the first message. The second message is really simple. It's one word repeated 3 times. Allow, allow, allow. Stop trying to control the world around you and start allowing. Stop complaining about the world around you and start allowing. Because listen, the more you talk about it, the more you talk about all that stuff that's happening, the more like it just kind of like feels so prevalent and sticks around. We're here to imagine a different path. You are here to imagine, design, and follow a different path. That path requires you to allow what is happening around you, right? And to worry about your world, to worry about your people, to worry about what you are building in this world. I wish for you to step into receptivity. And that means accepting what is so that you can move from an embodied place and change your world. You don't have to change all worlds. You don't have to complain about all the bad things going on in the world. You can, right? But I want you to get into the place of all those things are happening. I see it. I accept it. And I'm still going to move from love. I'm still going to allow and move from love, right? I'm going to go within. All the people around you who are problems, who are doing things wrong or the way you think they should be done, they're not doing them the way you think they should be done. All those things, like, don't worry about those problems. Worry about you. Worry about yourself. I saw a little Instagram video, and the little girl is trying to put on a seatbelt and she's struggling with it, but she's going to figure it out. And the father says to her, "Hey, uh, do you need my help? Do you need me to fix this for you?" And the little girl says, "No, I can do it." And the father's like, "What? Well, what should I do then?" And the little girl says, "Worry about yourself." She must be like 3. Worry about yourself. Talk about embodied wisdom, right? Worry about yourself. Simple. Allow, 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 accept, right? And be that beacon. Be the lighthouse in the storm around you. That's the invitation. Sorry, my hand's right in front of you, but that's the invitation. So, those are the 2 messages I heard for this week, and I'm just going to like tap in a little bit more and see if there's anything else. Oh, so the love that you are seeking in this life will arrive when you fill your cup and allow. Wow. And love can be used like empirically to mean all the things you love in this lifetime. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a job, maybe it's money, right? But the path to ignite your innate magnetism, to attract all the things, to let them arrive at your feet, at your doorstep, one of those, like one of the steps on the path is filling your cup, like showing up at the altar of you and worshiping there, and then allowing and accepting what's happening around you and focusing on changing your world from within, right in here at the soul level, right? Can you imagine if millions of people were talking to their soul on a regular basis, working their stuff out on a regular basis? Imagine the level of expansion and the level of intelligence, and I mean spiritual intelligence, emotional intelligence, mental intelligence, all of it. Imagine what they would bring to all their relationships if they filled their cup in all the ways, either in stillness, with food, with peace, with sleep, right? And if they allowed and accepted the things that were happening around them that had very little to do with them. Imagine how this world would shift and change. So Some of you are looking for love, right? You're seeking your partner, you're waiting for a soulmate. And the invitation is fill your cup and allow, go within. Go within because that's the place from which real change happens. Seriously, real change happens here. It's not your job to change other people. It's your job to change you if you want to, if you so desire. That's up to you, right? But I am here at the altar to continue to shift and grow in timing that feels aligning and perfect and beautiful for me. Because as I do that, all the things that I want to make and do just happen. They just unfold like magic. So that feels like enough today. I missed you, and I promise that I'll be back again very, very soon. And until that time, I invite you to join my email list because I'm sharing really beautiful stories over there that I don't share here. And I'd love to share them with you. I'd love to share with you sort of all the things I've learned from allowing my soul to awaken and I don't know, feel less alone on this journey, for me to feel less alone and for you to feel less alone. I'm so glad you're here, and I'll be back again very, very soon. Bye bye.